everyone, welcome to Module 1. Now before we jump into content creation, influencers, algorithms, and all the things you think about when you hear the word social media marketing, I want to start off with something far more important. Why does any of this work in the first place? One of the biggest misconceptions about social media is that it's just about posting content. Now, if you've ever heard someone say, we need to post more, you've already encountered some of the most common mistakes businesses make. The reality is that successful social media has very little to do with randomly posting content and hoping something goes viral. It starts with understanding people. Think about how social media has changed over time. Some of you may not be old enough to remember MySpace. But when social media first emerged, it was primarily about connecting with people you already knew. You follow friends, family members, classmates, coworkers, people in your circle. Today, that's really not how most platforms work. TikTok doesn't care if you have friends with someone. Instagram increasingly prioritizes content over relationships. YouTube recommends videos based on your behavior. So no longer is the question, who do you know? The question is, what will keep your attention? And that change has completely transformed marketing. Algorithm-driven platforms are what we really need to think about. We'll look at some of the foundational theories that help explain why people engage with content, why certain messages spread, and why some brands are able to build strong communities while others struggle to gain traction. We're going to begin to think strategically. As marketers, we don't just ask, what should we post? We ask, who are we trying to reach? What do they care about? Where do they spend their time? And most importantly, why do they care about what we're saying? You'll also begin conducting a social media audit for your organization. This is where you start putting your consultant hat on. Rather than looking at a social media marketing account as a consumer, you'll begin evaluating it as a strategist. You're going to look at what's working, what's not working, where are the opportunities, and where are the gaps that need to be filled. So by the end of this module, you'll have a stronger understanding of how social media actually functions in a communication system and why strategy matters long before a single post is ever published. As always, don't just think about concepts and theory. Think about the brands, creators, and organizations that you follow every day. Ask yourself, why do they have your attention? Chances are it's not an accident. So let's get started.